Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. And today, we just got news about one of the biggest developments ever for RippleNet. And they released an insights about it, and it dropped a lot of breadcrumbs and really opened our eyes to where the future of RippleNet's business model is going, and the merging of crypto with RippleNet and ODL. Also, we have some video clips from Crypto Eddie, who just happened to interview the CEO of Flash FX. And he offers some tremendous insight into the details of how ODL 2.0 and Ripple line of credit and the recent Ripple patents all are intertwined into one to create the new Ripple super wallet, which basically allows all RippleNet members to hold XRP, Bitcoin, any crypto, as well as any tokenized stablecoin or tokenized asset of any sort. So this is really exciting, and it's one of the things Patty and I have talked about for the past, I would say year, that the killer app is the wallet. A wallet that could do everything and is segregated from the actual issuing entity. So this is the future, and let's dive right into it. So we got this clip from the CEO of Flash FX, and he breaks it down. Now, Crypto Eddie asks, is the recent Ripple patents, related at all to Ripple line of credit? And here is the Flash FX CEO, who is a longtime RippleNet partner and ODL user out of Australia.
And now it looks like they're moving towards individual crypto wallets for ODL users. So you can draw on that as needed, right? Is that something that is happening already?
Yes. Look, the version 1 of ODL that we use is you have two
needed, right? Is that something that is happening already?
Yes. Look, the version 1 of ODL that we use is you have two exchanges on either end. So we send Australian dollars to the exchange, gets converted to XRP. XRP is sent on ledger to the recipient exchange and converted back into fiat. That's how it originally started, and that's how we're still operating. Version 2, I think it's the wallet send. I think it's the sort of technical term, is in essence where the sending entity receives a balance of XRP from Ripple, and as it gets converted, as we submit a transaction, then a balance of XRP is taken to send to the recipient exchange, converted into fiat, whereby then the sending entity, like Flash FX in that case, would reimburse Ripple directly with Australian dollars.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like a
case would reimburse Ripple directly with Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So wow, he just confirms that ODL 2.0 is in action, and he breaks down the specifics of how it operates. So we have this diagram, very rare diagram. I do not know if most of you have seen this. It came from a Swell Regional, and it actually shows the wallet right there on the first mile. So this is a new design. Only one exchange is involved. So now Ripple is giving either Ripple or stay in custody, however they're doing the wallets, we don't know the details, but they are given not an XRP wallet, but a multi-chain, multi-asset super wallet that allows them to hold XRP, and they don't need to buy it from an exchange now. Now they could send XRP into any corridor right over the XRP ledger from their wallet. And now that really opens up, the flywheel here to get going. Also, Ripple's able to lend XRP. Now, this is the really important part here. So at all the conspiracy and the buying of XRP, let's stick to the facts here. Now, these are the facts. Ripple has something called seigniorage. They own a tremendous amount of the supply. They get an escrow release every month. They're holding 6 to 7 billion. It costs them nothing to lend XRP. It's zero. It's seigniorage. So they could lend this XRP, and now they're receiving the fiat back, right? Now that XRP is sent, say, from Flash FX to the new corridor in London for the silver pound. And now that entity technically could be looking to acquire XRP. And they already have, say, the silver pound for the fiat payout. And then they just hold the XRP. So technically, that is a way to remove sell pressure. So now, even though Ripple is putting XRP into circulation in RippleNet, if they set it up in a way where the beneficiary in the payout corridor accumulates XRP, and all they need to do is pay out the fiat now. They don't necessarily have to be an exchange. I mean, they could, but if everyone on RippleNet now is going to have these multi-asset wallets, they could start sending XRP to each other. And this is one of the things that Dilip Rao said in the future. The holy grail is for them to hold XRP. And these exchanges, they're not up to par. Like RippleNet's not going to build their whole infrastructure on these rinky-dink crypto exchanges in all these different corridors. And these wallets that are issued, I mean, I don't think it's a far fetch here. Standard Custody and PolySign are building a custody platform. Wallets are custody. So I really think it's safe to say, and I'm sure we'll find out soon, that these super wallets probably are multi-party computation, because we know SBI's wallet is exactly that and says it right in their website, which means that each user has their assets segregated to their own wallet. And it might have permissions on it that Ripple or Standard Custody keeps for security and insurance, but their assets are separate from everyone else. Compared to typical institutional wallets on Coinbase, if you have a wallet on Coinbase and you're a market maker or you're a bank, your assets are lumped in with everybody else's assets. And it's not just yours. You might have an account, but you don't have an actual wallet. So by segregating the assets, that means each entity, Flash FX, say Tranglo, say Santander or Standard Chartered, they'll each have their own wallets with their own assets in them, and they could send to each other. The key is the payout. So Ripple now holding that fiat that they receive basically for free. Now, this is really where the advantage comes in. What can they do with that fiat? It's free money. Well, let's think, Patty. What do you think they could do with this? There's a couple things. One, they could use it to buy XRP. Not saying they're going to do that, but they technically can. Two, they could use it to lend back out at a discount, actually, because now this avoids any type of crypto regulations or anything, because now they're lending fiat. They could lend it under market price because it's free money. They could use it as incentives, or what I think is they're using it to build tokenized stablecoins for different liquidity pools in different corridors to match the XRP that is on RippleNet. What's your thoughts on that, Patty?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you bring up the stablecoin point, because with Ashish Burla's new blog that he just released today, they specifically talk about holding multiple stablecoins within these, Ripple-enabled wallets. So I think that is definitely one use case. Also, as far as with the MoneyGram, we saw where they were giving reimbursements to MoneyGram. I forget the exact terminology and the accounting language around it, but they were paying that out in XRP. So maybe now, instead of paying that out in XRP, it could be paid out in fiat. So I think it definitely opens the door, and it also gets Ripple away from selling XRP in like a traditional sense, which,
Excellent.
with the SEC issues, I think is very important. And I think with this whole thing, like, they're really cutting out the first mile in the exchange on the first half of this the ODL transactions. So I think it's just, another step closer, like with what we saw in the new Ripple patent that was filed a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago. It's just a closer step to the internet of value, and, institutions, businesses, small to medium enterprises just plugging into the XRP ledger and being able to, facilitate this, all on their own with the help of like RippleNet's pathfinding and all of its algorithms that it uses to basically get, value from point A to point B.
Yeah, exactly. In one fell swoop, they have made all the RippleNet members at the forefront of cutting edge crypto. With that wallet capability linked to, say, a PolySign and a standard custody and RippleNet's messaging platform, we have to remember here, RippleNet is not a messaging platform. It's a payment network with hosted infrastructure and standardized APIs. Now it also has wallets. It also has a data provisioning network. The price feeds for all these exchanges have to come in. But I really like that they're able to put these wallets in every single user's hands, basically. Now, that have regulatory clarity with full security, and technically they have standard custody, who's a digital bank if they had to use a bank, and as other partners on the network that are also banks. Can we bring up the Ripple insights from today, talking about how Ripple is gung-ho on the crypto wallet? And they say that...
Sorry, we'll bring this one.
So now we have a new Ripple Insights that was just dropped and authored by Ashish Birla. And this is probably one of the most forward-leaning Ripple Insights that I have ever seen. I mean, they are talking about cutting edge. They're talking all about crypto, tokenization, DeFi, and they're specifically saying right here, enterprise for the crypto future, preparing. And they say, Ripple is evolving. We're expanding from a cross-border payments network to a platform providing tokenized services, which will bring crypto capabilities to enterprise and prepare them for the future where crypto is front and center. RippleNet was initially built to solve challenges with speed, cost, transparency, and cross-border payments for those that have been grossly underserved by the financial system at large. But you see, no longer are we laser focused on cross-border payments. It's 2021. It's not 2018 anymore. Yes, they're working with central banks on CBDCs. But one thing we've been talking about on this channel is tokenization and DeFi. This is the future. This is where we should be looking as retail investors and as in the community for other opportunities. Not CBDCs are kind of a distraction. Keep an eye on them, but this is the future. They're building the super wallets with identity in them, and now they're going to be able to tokenize any asset and put it there. No, they're probably not going to tokenize it on the public XRP ledger, but this is why you have PolySign's blockchain, which Jack McDonald said you'll be able to memorialize these transactions on PolySign's private network with custom smart contracts in a secure, regulatory compliant way. So absolutely, there will be smart contracts used. So what's interesting here, Patty, is if they do tokenize all these assets, you could basically create hybrid types of decentralized DeFi apps. So what we see in the DeFi world, Ripple could kind of, mimic a little to get the actual purpose of what they achieve: lending, borrowing, using as collateral synthetic assets. So do you see that coming here on RippleNet?
Absolutely. I mean, David Schwartz and the RippleX team didn't just come out and propose side chains where they specifically were stating, smart contracts as something that very early on can take hold on these side chains. So I think that's going to offer Ripple and, the RippleNet service the opportunity to build out all these kind of auxiliary services that can be used with RippleNet. You kind of get them in, you get cross-border payments, cheap and fast, and then, they realize, oh, there's more to this crypto thing than just, sending money. And that's where we start seeing, the tokenization come in, and then the DeFi capabilities with this update to the XRP ledger and the federated sidechains.
Absolutely. And ODL by itself, I mean, we've known for a while, and I've talked about this for the last 2 years. ODL by itself, just being remittances and providing liquidity, is not going to be enough for XRP to be a reserve currency or even to be at the top. You need a supporting financial marketplace. Just like every other currency and asset, there's a financial marketplace around it. You need derivatives, you need hedging, you need lending, you need borrowing, you need to be able to use it as collateral. So when they say tokenizing assets, that means they could tokenize even some of their digital securities and use those to borrow against. I mean, who knows? This could be an integration with other private blockchains, but RippleNet itself and PolySign are going to be able to do all of this in a private way. And there is no other institutional grade crypto wallet that is able to hold all these assets that is going to be implemented with banks, payment providers, crypto custodians, and exchanges the way Ripple is. So this is so important that they're so far out in front right now. This is the next, we're on the precipice of moving to a world where crypto and legacy markets are about to converge. Next slide, please. So right here, they say it's all about the wallet, and they go deep into it. And it is really all about the wallet. They say specifically, every customer who joins RippleNet will receive a wallet designed to support both crypto and fiat. And this allows customers to be ready to take advantage of the latest blockchain-enabled solutions that keep them at the cutting edge, designed seamlessly to upgrade and add new services and customers when they want in the future. Customers can use their Ripple-enabled wallet to custody XRP, BTC, stablecoins, and anything that's tokenized, even NFTs. So they just blew this through the roof. I mean, they basically just said you could have everything right now, and we're going to give you XRP on the arm at no discount. And in the crypto markets industry, credit is the hardest thing to get right now. And Ripple is a credit facility. This is their biggest advantage. This is why the SEC is threatened by them, why Bitcoin maxis, why Ethereum is, not because Ripple could sell and fund their operations. No, not so that the treasury is going to buy it. No, not to pay off debt. No, but how they could boost and bootstrap a financial marketplace around XRP. This is what they're able to do. They're able to lend XRP out. Just like a central bank could lend assets, they could do that, and it cost them nothing. And, we think usually, if you add to the supply, it's going to, make the price go down and put sell pressure. It's actually the opposite. By using market mechanisms, Ripple can provide a way to have steady upward pressure. And Bob Way in 2019 told us they have a mechanism that's designed to do that. I'm just really excited about these wallets because we know, and I've done a video on this, SBI's multi-party computation wallet is the next generation. There's Curve and Copper offer multi-party computation, but none are built on a blockchain, and both are proprietary. Copper is a Flair partner, and Curve, I believe, was bought by PayPal and is the custodian for iTrust Capital. So there's been some Ripple employees following Curve. So multi-party computation, just remember that. It's going to filter down to retail. So this will eventually affect you and me. You'll one day be able to toss your nano ledger in the garbage, and you won't have to worry about storing a private key. So this is super exciting, and it literally puts RippleNet at the forefront. Like with everyone having a wallet, no private blockchain, no other public blockchain comes even close. And before the FinCEN fine, this is what Ripple's business model always was. They wanted to make the Ripple wallet and Ripple trade, but they got hit with the FinCEN fine and they couldn't do it right on the ledger. Stellar's trying to do it right on their blockchain. Ripple is going to the side chains, and then PolySign is the next generation custody blockchain, which allows for the escrow services and the tokenizing of assets. So I know many people are going to ask, well, is this going to happen on the XRP ledger? No, you're probably not going to see it on the XRP ledger, but they're absolutely using XRP. And that ODL utility thing, we might not see. If they're sending just XRP across the XRP ledger, you might not see that. It also might be batched in large transactions too. It could go through payment channels. Now they have things called tickets. So the XRP ledger has many privacy features built in. So it's going to be hard to really see the transactions, but this flips the ODL model. We're not going from fiat to XRP to fiat anymore. We're going from XRP to fiat, and even sometimes just to XRP, because that destination institution might just use their own domestic currency. And I think XPool, which has been talked about, is a big part of this, because if you read through many of the Ripple patents, they have a resource management system, and that is the XPool. And Patty, who just recently did the video on the recent Ripple patent, shows how these different pools can be topped up with wallets. And there was even a MoneyGram patent about a year or so ago that talked about wallets in each corridor. I do believe that MoneyGram ultimate plan was to be a part of this. And it's just unfortunate with the SEC case. What MoneyGram was doing was not anywhere near what their ultimate goals were going to be. So let's move on here to the next slide, please. All right. Is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, Ripple talks about, we have refined ODL, streamlining the product to improve efficiency. Remember, this is now ODL 2.0. This is no longer XRapid, no longer ODL. So everything you thought you knew, it has changed. ODL customers can send XRP for cross-border payments directly through a crypto wallet, leveraging their wallet to source XRP on demand instead of having to secure it through a third party. Now, that was the difficult part, and they didn't talk about that much. Using fiat to buy crypto does not happen instantly in every country. If you go to Coinbase right now and try and buy, yeah, maybe you can. They charge you fees very high because Coinbase is laying out the money for you. But by having the crypto there, you could just avoid that first mile, and that's big. This gives more flexibility and choice to the customers while reducing friction and payment flow. It also gives customers the ability to grow and scale quickly with new partners and currencies by simplifying the onboarding process, enabling multi-currencies through a single wallet. Flash FX, innovative payment technology company based in Australia, was founded on the belief that smart technology is the key to unlocking the potential of global payments. And this offers new ways to integrate that cutting edge technology. But also another thing here, what Ripple did is now this is going to attract the crypto custodians, and those other crypto native banks are going to be all in there. And I think that's what, and these VCs and these funds coming in, now that everybody has wallets, it's very easy to interact with each other. They'll have the KYC built into it, automated. And all those things will be automated compliance, reg tech. And then they could top up these wallets. I mean, they have the escrow that could just be sitting in the middle of RippleNet, and it could be paying out rewards for different things, topping up liquidity in different corridors, and set up so it does put a slow upward price. It's not going to put a downward price. I know some people are going to say, well, if they're lending it out and getting back fiat, that's adding to the supply. Yes, but you know what? It's moving the money velocity. And at some point, there's going to be others who are going to need to provide liquidity. Ripple has said they're not going to be the only lender. So at some point, Ripple will probably maybe sell XRP, or entities will just purchase XRP off the market to do what Ripple is doing if they prove the model out. And this is the support of that financial system. And Ripple has said, we're coming out with a new product. So let's see, what could that new product be? They mentioned DeFi in this article, and they mentioned tokenized assets and stable coins. So any guesses there, Patty, of what do you think it might be?
Maybe some liquidity pools or something of that nature. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's possible that they could do, I have two ideas. One could be they could allowing some type of tokenizing of some type of asset in certain corridors that they could do with clarity. Like I know Germany is very close to allowing tokenized assets. Switzerland, Singapore, Japan, you could do it. So we could see some tokenized assets being put up as collateral and borrowed against. It's possible, but I really think the liquidity pools are going to be announced at some point. But new product-wise, I mean, it's not payments. So it's just good to see it's in the inside of the DeFi or hybrid DeFi ecosystem. I mean, the other one I could think of is lending. There could be others that are lending into a pool, which is possible. But I'm thinking tokenized real estate, Patty, because that's what Jack McDonald said they're doing a proof of concept with. Ripple has talked over and over again about tokenization. And then my last long shot is digital identity.
Nice.
All right. So I think that's possible. Greg Kidd's working on that. And self-sovereign digital identity is something we really need as retailers in this market. Once we could get that, then there'll be full compliance. And then we could have new technologies come out like Panther Protocol that offers zero-knowledge proofs and gives us privacy with our digital self-sovereign identities that get verified, and we maintain the privacy of our data, and everything's compliant in a more secure way. So this is the future. This innovation is moving so fast. I mean, Ripple, with a snap of their finger, even with an SEC case, basically just handed everybody the ability to move crypto wherever they want and hold any type of crypto. And I have no doubt that this has to do with standard custody and poly-sign. It was only 2 months ago, right, Patty, that standard custody got the digital trust charter license?
Yep. And also, we've seen Jack McDonald mention in some of those interviews he's doing that they're personally working on multi-party computation as well, on top of what SVI is doing. So,
yes. And they have the smart HSMs, which they're running business logic through these HSMs. So, you know, without getting too technical here, Arthur Britto's a genius, and so is David Schwartz. They've been working on this for 4 years to create their 2 products to start. Is an escrow service, which basically is going to allow trading of these tokenized assets between wallets and through different exchanges. So there might be different types of wallets, like a market maker, for example, might have a different type of wallet that needs to connect to all the different exchanges and may be hosted and has more freedom of the permissions. Maybe some of these payment providers have very limited, ultra secure wallets where they pass regulatory clarity and scrutiny. There's no private key to store, so they can't be hacked if there's no private key. So that's something important. It's possible that they could even be managed by standard custody or poly-sign in the beginning. It's like training wheels on some of these financial firms. But these digital banks, like the one that Crypto Eddie talked about, Xbank, and you know, there's Revolut, there's One Bank with Santander, there's Anchorage, there's N26. There's a ton of these digital banks out there. They're going to be all over RippleNet, and we're going to see this convergence of the crypto custodians. So if anyone's not aware, there's 114 institutional grade licensed crypto custodians globally. And that was about a month ago. It's probably over 120 now. And that just popped up in the last 8 to 10 months. Those are the bridge to the traditional markets. I'm sorry, but it's not Goldman and the boys. It's not JPM yet. It's not these big banks or Bank of America. Like, don't pay attention to that. That's not what's going to kick this off. It's these forward-leaning institutions, custodians, and payment providers. And then they also have the Open Payments Coalition, which has all the wallet providers. So your blockchains.com and those. And also, you know, Patty, in a year or so, if Flair and DeFi on the sidechains of XRP really mature, you're going to see the integration now of many of these RippleNet partners integrate right into those and build applications for then their customers.
Yep, and the side chains, you know, give a real testing ground as well for some of these newer applications that we'll start seeing to come. So I think that should help with, you know, getting institutions and businesses on board with using them if they've seen stuff working in a real life environment.
Yeah, that's a great point. The sidechains allow for that testing capabilities. And the XRP ledger, even though, hey, it didn't have smart contracts like Ethereum, some people could be like, oh, it's slow to get adopted. You know what? It's perfectly situated at the perfect time to now just launch all these wallets. I mean, this is going to allow for trading. I mean, they're going to be able to buy different assets from those wallets and tokenize different things. The wallet is the key to everything. I can't wait till we could get some type of hybrid multi-party computation wallet instead of dealing with these stupid hardware modules, these private keys, these clunky DeFi wallets. or these garbage exchanges. I mean, exchanges are the worst. So we're moving away from that model, like the Shane Ellis theory, that is no longer applicable. So years ago in 2018, I thought it was possible. I even talked about it, but the market was very different then. We didn't really have a institutional marketplace for prime brokers and liquidity providers and market makers behind the scenes. We had a very immature OTC market where there were a couple OTC desks that communicated over telephone or Telegram groups, and they weren't selling below market. They were still selling at market price, but there was very little activity. Now you have institutions like Copper, who has an exchange network. You have Anchorage. You have BitGo. You have all these Genesis Capitals. You have DRW. I mean, there's massive amounts of market makers and now even decentralized aggregators behind the scenes. And there's a lot of arbitrage. So Shane Ellis theory would never be able to work right now because, one, you only see the retail side of the order book. There's a second layer that you can't see. So if you go down there and you're like, oh, wow, there's only 80,000 sell orders till $10. If 80,000 goes through, it goes right to 10. No, absolutely not. Because now credit's accessible. So every single prime broker or entity is going to instantly trying to sell at that higher price, and it will just obliterate any buy wall. So Shane Ellis no longer applicable, but there's new ways now, and it goes on Ripple's Escrow. What I've been saying, not for sale, to enrich themselves, not to pay off debt, and not to be bought from the treasury. Let's think of it like this. Not one single large commercial bank in the world has purchased cryptocurrency openly, right? Mm-hmm. None. Not one. Very few banks. So why would all of a sudden the one country that's super slow, has no regulatory framework, just start buying XRP from Escrow? I mean, it literally makes no sense. And honestly, it's misleading. And I have to say that because, I'm very proud of being part of this community. And I think we are an army and we are very intelligent. But I've seen lately that we're starting to, straight up embarrass ourselves with some of the discussions because they're irrelevant and they're misleading to the community. We should not be focusing on baseless speculation. And right here is facts. Let's go to the next slide, Patty. These are facts of what's being built on RippleNet, the wallet, the Ripple line of credit. No, they're not pre-allocating. No, they're not price setting anything. That doesn't apply here. All right, let's stick to the facts. So Tranglo, who is a huge e-wallet provider, they're a subsidiary of, I forgot their name, but a huge unicorn in Southeast Asia. So what Ripple's kind of going to do is probably convert a lot of these e-money and these mobile wallets from the traditional markets to being crypto native. And I think that has to do with the whole multi-chain wallet. And I think they're going to turn that in the Middle East too, with the UAE. There's a lot of mobile money wallets. Those could easily be converted into the RippleNet wallet, what they're calling here, which is the super wallet. And then soon that wallet will come with an app store, and RippleNet will have its own apps on it that people could connect to. Remember RippleNet Home? That was kind of like an interface where you could see different information and data of the network. Soon you'll have a little app store. And that's what these larger entities are building on RippleNet. They're not there just to message. They're there to build actual platforms and applications like Noin, who is formerly Instagram, SBI with MoneyTap, in Brazil with the Simple Payment platform. Who else is another one in the UAE? There's another one. They're building like full platform. Santander in Spain. They're building full platforms which are going to offer banking as a service and basically RippleNet as a service to these digital banks and these payment providers. So that's what's been going on for the last 3 or 4 years. A lot of people are like, well, RippleNet's not being used. They're not doing anything. Well, it's all the stakeholders that are building on standardized APIs, standardized hosting infrastructure, and a machine learning network, and also a decentralized network. So RippleNet is decentralized. It's not built technically on blockchain, but it absolutely has smart contracts. You can guarantee that. And they're far ahead. It probably will integrate with Corda and Hyperledger, but RippleNet with PolySign is going to be a killer technology that, is going to lead to CBDCs. So how does Ripple tie all this together? It's just, I'm very encouraged to see that Ripple's doing all this with the wallets in the middle of an SEC case. I mean, I think that's just, that really says something, that we're launching a global crypto wallet that could hold any tokenized asset while we're in the middle of an SEC case. And you know what? We'll loan you XRP too on top of that. I mean, I just think that's just, it's awesome. The SEC must hate it because they're not technically selling XRP, they're loaning it. And it's out of country. SEC can't do anything. And when they're getting paid back in fiat, it's technically not really a sale. It's a loan being paid back. And then that fiat is the key now because they get all that exotic corridor fiat. That's what I would do. I would build up liquidity pools in there and then use the escrow to drip feed into the liquidity and pay out rewards, just like the way DeFi liquidity pools pay out certain rewards and incentives. Even those who are providing liquidity to those pools will still earn fees, Patty. So if there's more volume going through that one corridor, whoever's putting in both of those assets earn more fees. So now the market maker is just guaranteed to make money every single day. And that's really appealing to market makers. And a lot of Ripple's VCs, they have plenty of market makers that we don't even know about, like Arrington Capital, these hedge funds. You're going to see more and more. I mean, eventually we could see like the big Morgan Stanleys come in. But I think, honestly, at that point, I think we'll be well past $10. And XRP doesn't have to start at any specific price because it doesn't matter what XRP's price is. If you're loaning XRP to FlashFX, Ripple could give them as much as they want in the dollar amount. If XRP is $2 or $20, they don't need to all start at the same time. They do not have to have a set price. They send it over the XRP ledger. It's the exchange rate is determined beforehand, and it's atomically sent over the ledger and paid out. So why do you need a stable price? Absolutely no need for a stable price for the users or the beneficiary or anybody on the network.
Yeah, and we saw that patent where they are talking about having slippage pools that pay out in case the FX rates, the exchange rates change. So, that shows that Ripple's planning that, the XRP price and, the comparison with it to different currencies is not, going to be stable. So like we see that they're directly building stuff to point that that's not the case.
Exactly. There's absolutely no reason. You don't want XRP to be stable. You want it to be able to swallow up value and increase in value because the more value it has, the more payments it can move through and higher value payments, and it can be more legitimized. And in my opinion, XRP's number one use case in the long term, if it's successful, won't be necessarily just for payments. It will be as pristine collateral. And then you add smart contracts in, you can make some really powerful applications that use XRP in ways that just transform its capabilities and its money. It could get complementary assets. So that's why these CBDCs got their work cut out for them. And I don't think XRP is trying to be a threat. It's just a totally new asset. And it's going to sit in the middle. And it's going to swallow up a lot of the value. Bitcoin right now, hey, can you do this with Bitcoin? Who's giving out all the Bitcoin wallets to all these banks and institutions? You know what they're giving them? Yeah, cold storage, put it in a cave and don't touch it. That's what Michael Saylor. Give it to Coinbase. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's kind of funny with the wallets because, all I've heard for the past 4 years being in the space is, store this offline, get a hardware wallet. And I'm like, well, isn't the point that we're supposed to be digitizing, everything? So it just seems so counterintuitive that the future, when we're trying to tokenize all these assets and create an internet of value, would use a hardware wallet. Like, I don't want to sit here and walk around with, a physical wallet anymore. I mean, I have my phone, just put it all on there. It just it's kind of funny to me.
It is. I mean, the problem is that they just got to remove the private key.
Exactly.
Some people are still stuck in 2018, and it's like, oh, get it off the exchanges. Most of the big exchanges, your stuff's not going to get stolen. They're in deep cold storage with multi-sig, multi-party computation, but that's just for their wallets. Exchanges can't offer what Ripple's offering. I just want to make that clear. The type of wallet they're offering is not a regular XRP wallet, okay? It's not a exchange wallet. An exchange wallet, everyone on the network is lumped into one wallet. Yeah, you get your own destination tag, but you don't have a wallet account on any exchange. You have a account with that exchange. That's it. You have no permission over it. You have no control. You could just send on and off, but you have no control to connect to other applications. You are limited to that siloed network. And now when it comes to decentralized wallets, completely self-custody, say like a Bifrost, now it's all in your hands. You're responsible for the private keys. You're responsible to take care of the authentication, authorization, who you connect to, the insurance of it, your identity, everything you have to deal with. And I think the market is ripe for the next generation of wallets to retail. And actually, Patty, we're hearing whispers and rumors that Trustline mobile app is heading in that direction, which right here, Ripple says, the future belongs to those who build bridges between traditional financial world and the new paradigm of crypto and blockchain technologies. The Trustline, aka now called the StablePay mobile app, will be exactly that. It is a bridge to the traditional worlds. It has an on and off ramp from the mobile app to your bank account, to PayPal, and it has the ability to connect to Probity Vault on Flair network, and also to the Trustline network with Probity, not Probity, RA as a stablecoin on the XRP ledger. And it possibly could connect to Flair Finance too. He said it could be self-custody or non-custodial, or self-custody or custodial. And I think that's what people want. They want some type of flexibility here. Because right now it's like we have the crap exchange wallets, or we have, okay, you got to take care of this hardware wallet and store it under your bed. And we need something better. And the market is ripe for disruption. And I hope we see it coming out of one of Ripple's partners. Maybe it'll be Bifrost. Maybe it will be Trustline. Maybe it'll be Standard Custody themselves, offer it to retail. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Jack McDonald said retail is going to be able to participate with crypto, most likely with XRP, into a real estate tokenization fund. And Ripple's going to do everything in their power to integrate retail. They want retail in. So anyone who tells you we're testing, we were just the test bed, and we're just riding the coattails, no, we're the priority, actually. It's a community network. Yes, they pivoted to enterprises for one use case, but these assets are meant to be used by everybody, and they're community public networks. Hence the word public networks. It's just mind-boggling to me how all these talks come out, government confiscating escrows, we're setting market prices, we're paying off debt. It's like, this is a public decentralized network. Hello, this is what's being built. DeFi, tokenization, new wallets. Pay attention. We're years away from CBDCs. So I really wanted to make this video clear. This is the facts. And this is straight from Ripple's insight, straight from Crypto Eddie's video. Can we play just one more clip before we wrap this up, Patty?
Yeah, you want the line of credit one, right?
Yeah, let's listen to the line of credit. And Miguel Diaz talked about this in 2017, and he said it in that video, but everyone ignored it because they were so concerned that, the escrow was going to be handed over to somebody else. Ripple doesn't have the escrow, everybody. The escrow sits on the XRP ledger, okay? And it's held by the XRP ledger. It can't be handed to PolySign. It's in a cryptographically secure escrow. And here's the other thing. Even the smartest new developers in our community have not picked up on this. When the escrow is released, it gets released to crypto conditions in a multi-sig wallet. And then it moves based on those conditions. You cannot see those on the XRP ledger. There is not somebody sitting there saying, should we sell this to the treasury? Should we sell this to the government at a set price? No. The conditions are based on preset, based on the network, and for whatever's on there. Ripple's got machine learning for the last 5 years. I mean, the whole XRP ledger is built for machine learning. It's a neural network, RippleNet. It's based on whatever the data says where that XRP is needed. And however they set that up, we will never know. It's private. But there's not some guy sitting at a desk saying, we got to sell this and we got to allocate it out to that bank for 2 years from now. Yeah, there's some things that are option, but forget about that. That's just like distraction. It's irrelevant. What's going on here is the escrow is being used to support the network, boost adoption, and drive utility to enhance the network. It's not here to enrich capital appreciation for the stakeholders. You know, there will be stakeholders that will storage in there. The users don't care if XRP is $5, $2, $10 next day. They don't care. That's not why they're in the asset. They're in it to use it. If they're using ODL, they just want it and send the payments fast. That's all they're using it for. What will happen is here, it will drive basically the adoption of those speculators in hedge funds, in liquidity providers who are going to be like, you know what? I can provide liquidity and earn fees here. Wait, it's going up in price? All right, let me borrow against it. Let me do this. Let me leverage up. And, you know, it will create a marketplace around there. And then what will happen is they'll start offering financial products to us. And then who knows what do you think happens when tokenization and DeFi collide, Patty?
The internet of value.
And the internet of finance, I think, just explodes. I mean, that could be the end of fiat when that moment happens. I mean, we shall see. But that's the big bang that I'm waiting for, is the tokenization, digital security issuance, and DeFi to collide. Like, there's a lot of layer 2 DeFi protocols right now that are ready to run on multiple networks. So don't get caught up that, oh, it's Ethereum versus XRP or BTC. We're in 2021 here. These dApps are going to run on multiple networks, XRP, Ether. They're not stuck to just one. So I think the 2019, 2020 mindset of this network's going to make it win over that, it doesn't matter now. The apps are going to run on many of them. It's not one winner takes it all. So there's going to be more than 99% of the tokens are not disappearing. So I actually just looked up today, how many more tokens have been in existence that have actual, 100 million plus value from a year ago, and it's astronomically increased. Now, I don't understand why we keep saying 99% of tokens are going away. We need to stop that, please. Please, please. I'm begging you, Patty. Can you tell everyone in the community to stop this? Because the numbers and the facts are pointing to a different reality.
Yeah.
The tokens are increasing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is, with this new field of like mechanism design and game theory and crypto economics, is if a token can be used to make a process easier, more streamlined, or anything like that, then there's a use case for that token. So, we're moving into a world where maybe we don't see, thousands of layer 1, native asset tokens to their blockchains, but we see a bunch of dApp tokens in layer 2 type applications that have tokens that make use of them. I mean, you could literally just have a token to
Governance.
collect interest over time, or for governance voting, or just many different things. So, in a world where the possibilities are continuing to expand, it would seem to me that everything that's been built in crypto isn't just going to go away overnight one day.
And if there's yield with it and ability to lock it up and do other things, governance is a huge use case on a network. That's overlooked by many. There was somebody in the community that was talking about, well, how can ETH 2.0, transition and still be decentralized? We have this thing called governance of community networks. And I'm going to repeat it one more time because it agitated me so much. Flair Networks is a decentralized public blockchain that is launching. It is not a startup. It is not a business product. It is not dependent on Flair Limited success or not. So it doesn't fail in that way. So it's just like that comment in the community needs to be called out because it's very inaccurate. There is no guarantee that Flair Networks, the network, does succeed. But the facts are pointing to it's got inbuilt yield being airdrop to one of the largest communities in all of crypto, and it is breakthrough consensus and is built for the future and institutionally ready. It's really hard how it can't succeed. Honestly, that's how I look at it. But some people just look on the surface. I don't know why they feel threatened, but Flair is absolutely complementary to XRP. I mean, it gives XRP this new utility. I mean, XRP gets superpowers coming to the Flair network. It's just mind-boggling. I don't see how people don't see that as a great thing for us as a community and for XRP. We get yield and we get DeFi smart contracts. right? What can beat that?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's going to be complementary for many different blockchains, not just XRP Ledger. I mean, we already see all the ones that don't have, Turing completeness at this point that are, attached, like Stellar, Dogecoin, Litecoin. They're all going to benefit. But also, we're going to see other smart contract DeFi networks, whether it be Ethereum, Cardano, Algorand, Solana, Avalanche, any of those. Like, there is a future where all of these can exist and interoperate with each other, and Flair makes it easier for that to happen, actually, with like its novel state connector system technology that it's built out. So, you know it's kind of goes back to like ending the tribalism. It's like, how can we take all these networks that have some great things they do and get them to communicate and interact with each other?
Absolutely. And Flair's a data provisioning network, a huge missing piece in the market. I love how you just fail to discuss these facts. These are facts. Decentralized Oracle system, bringing in true price discovery of these assets in a decentralized way. We do not have that in the market right now. If you looked at all different exchanges, you're trusting CoinMarketCap to give you the best price. You know what? Flair is going to give you the best price for XRP to USD of anywhere in the world. Any other website, domain, wherever. Flair will give you the most accurate one because it's going to be decentralized and it's going to keep rewarding those who are the most accurate. And this is important. This is interoperability. We're creating interoperability with the validators who are signaling back and digesting all that data. We just completely obliterated what Core to Settler is. I mean, Core to Settler needs to go back to the drawing board because it really doesn't do anything special. It's just I'm going to break this down again because there's so much talk of Core to Settler. It's kind of like not much at all. I mean, it's actually not even probably used at all because how many people are sending XRP payments over Corda? All it does, simply, and I need to bring this out because there's too much hype around Core to Settler. It has the potential to be used in the future if there's applications on XRP and the institutions and the banks who are using those applications are holding XRP and they want to pay in it, right? That's how it's used. There's a verification. So if Bank A is buying a tokenized bond from Bank B, Bank A is going to then send XRP to Bank B's XRP wallet, right? That's what they're doing. That happens on the XRP ledger. All the Core to Settler does is it runs one little rinky-dink node or two, and it verifies that it happens, and it relays the data back to Corda. And then there's also an external centralized single oracle that comprehends the price feed of the FX conversion of, say, whatever currency that whatever the amount due was for buying that tokenized bond. That's all it does. And you have to trust that oracle. You have to trust that that basically verifier. That's it. If nothing happens on Corda, there's no settlement between any assets. It's just a simple, like, I sent Patty a transaction with XRP from wallet to wallet. Corda Network's just verifying it to then their centralized node infrastructure. So Core to Settler is nothing special. All right. It will be if there's a bunch of entities and banks that are holding XRP wallets and they use XRP every day, and now it's adopted after the last year or two, yeah, it might be a big thing on Corda in the future for applications. But right now, nobody's using that. So I just don't even worry about it. And that could be implemented with Ethereum, Bitcoin, any other network could do that. All it is verifying a transaction on another blockchain. Flair just obliterates it because what Flair does is it digests the entire data of the entire XRP ledger, every few ledger closings in a decentralized way that could be proven to be 100% accurate. And it also has a full decentralized oracle system built in that provides the most accurate FX price feed for XRP compared to just one single oracle and one single node that Corda is running. So I just want to clear that up because I think it is an important comparison here to understand how basic and bare bone Core to Settler is, really, and it has no real effect on us, and how powerful the Flair network state connector system is. We don't know, Patty. Have you seen anywhere what type of technology on the verification and the key management of the nodes that are running on the other blockchains signaling back? How do they verify among each other the data?
So it goes into the whole like federated Byzantine agreement consensus, and it follows that kind of same path. Once basically the Flare validators, they will also be operating on the underlying blockchains, and they'll be right there to collect the data. As it's coming in live, we'll send that back over, signal it to the Flare network. Flare network receives that data, and then as long as basically enough of the nodes and validators on Flare network have had this like new data presented to them, then it will go to start verifying that that occurred with like the FBA model, and that'll kind of kick it off. But one of the big things is, with similar to consensus on XRP ledger or Flare, that these nodes still get to decide for themselves if that data is accurate and should be written down onto the blockchain in a mutable fashion.
So they could also verify it by checking with a public full history node that, say, the XRP Foundation runs.
Yes.
And I know those are available just to verify the data too. So this is all publicly verifiable here. And there's also another thing to bring up here, and I don't know if we talked this much. There's a two-way bridge between Flair and the XRP ledger. So Flair acts as a trustless gateway to the XRP ledger. One of David Schwartz's, dreams. He was so excited about having a trustless gateway. Flair network can actually issue a asset in a decentralized way onto the XRP ledger, and the ledger nodes can actually verify that there's collateral backing that RA stablecoin. Like, how amazing that is. That's a huge breakthrough. Corda doesn't offer anything like that. And it's a private network. So I just think there should be excitement around Flair. Instead of this doubt and just speculative, we don't know if it's going to be successful. Read the damn facts. Just read. It's all it takes. I mean, I don't say everyone in the community, but the influencers in the community have an obligation to do the damn research. If you want to be lazy, then you know what? Don't talk. It just annoys me because I feel bad for those in the community. And these people who have a lot of influence are just being lazy. I don't know why that Flair is any way of a threat, because it's not. It's super complimentary, but we need to say something, and the community needs to be told the facts. Okay. And I'm very, it bothers me because I care about the community, and, I like to share knowledge. Patty and I, we do all this because we enjoy sharing the knowledge and educating everybody. But when we see somebody out there just completely speculating, throwing out comments and doing no research for 8 months, and then just making stupid comments and then going conspiracy $1,000 price, predictions, it's insulting to the Flair team, who has spent 3 to 4 years, has just raised $11.3 million from an oversubscribed group of VCs that they said they could have raised 10 times that amount, and they could have got 10 times the amount of VCs more, but they had to stop. So obviously the institutions see it's big. So in a couple of months, when Flair is very successful, you remember who those people are who didn't do the research as influencers and just, talked out their behinds and just wanted to speculate negatively, because others in the community are doing the research and are learning. We're here to level up. I don't care if you got here in 2014, you need to keep leveling up. And if you just came into this industry in this market, you could catch up to somebody from 2013 very quickly, because people like to fall behind and they get lazy. And, some people don't want to be here a long time. They want to be in and out. XRP goes to $10, $13. That's their exit plan. But my man, Crypto Siege, if you're listening to this, he's the one who's been preaching it for about the last 2-3 years. He says, are you going to participate? Are you going to participate? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines? Or are you going to be a sheep? Because there's some specific sheeps right now in the community that you don't want to be the sheep. So we're going to try and set something up with Crypto Siege. I really like his attitude and his perspective on this market. So I think we're going to wrap it on that. Let's just play with that last video, Patty. I know this was a long one, but it was a very important video for me to make. And I just want to get my point across to the community, how important facts are and details, and, you know, doing the research, just learn about the facts instead of just speculating.
Yeah, and I'll add in, if you've ever been in a Telegram with Mickey in the past, this is as close to raw, unfiltered Mickey as you'll probably get on YouTube. So hopefully people enjoyed that. But here's that last clip.
Small to medium-sized enterprise businesses, they promote this line of credit. Is that something that is useful for you as well?
I think that's, I'm maybe not as close or confused, but in terms of that wallet send and line of credit is, I think, one of the same. So you get a line of credit in terms of you get that XRP, in your balance. Credit is, I think, one of the same. So you get a line of credit in terms of you get that XRP, in your balance. And as you use it, you repay that line of credit.
I got it. So
You know what I mean?
integration.
So
Yeah,
I get,
do.
yeah. So that's, like either you repay it in full or like we're not using it. Either you pay it in full or it gets replenished, as you, like it always has to sort of be a certain balance.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. So you can draw down on it, and when you do draw down on it, that difference is what would be considered like the line of credit you tapped into, and then it comes back in to bring the balance up. I got that. Yeah, it makes sense.
So very interesting here how they offer the line of credit. Now, he says they're not using it. Not every RippleNet member and user needs to use the line of credit. Some could just buy from the liquidity pool and have been for the past few years, and they've been building up, their XRP supply. So then they could just start out from the first mile. Those ones that they want to incentivize to get in it, or who are struggling, or who are new, or who are trying to move into new corridors, but they don't have the capital, Ripple could get them going. So this is very appealing to a lot of new fintechs and startups. And it's also, they're proving the model so that other big RippleNet members can then follow in Ripple's footsteps and say, okay, we'll provide it. Because right now the banks are threatened by Ripple. What they're able to do, they're lending an asset that acting basically in a similar way to a central bank. So banks lend fractionally, right? Well, Ripple's able to lend not even fractionally, just with his asset that, cost them nothing. So that's a threat to the banks, and they were able to offer a better service. And I think they're definitely going to roll into DeFi here. And this is the opportunity. If they could come out with a hybrid institutional DeFi product that solves a real world problem. So, well, what is that? One I know is the trade finance, where a lot of these supply chains and different industries need credit, and they just don't have the credit. So a standard custody, a Ripple, can loan them to get going in that different corridor while they're waiting for goods and services to arrive. Letters of credit could be NFTs. Ripple did a test in 2016 and proof of concept on that. So we're definitely going to see that. Standard Charter has their own crypto custodian, Zorro, now. I mean, they're all coming. SBI has SBI Wallet, has SBI Digital Asset Management, has, what else do they have? SBI VC. They're part of the Securitized Security Token Alliance. They are partnered with the Swiss Digital Exchange, Sigma Bank in Switzerland. So the key areas, before we wrap this up, I just want everyone to look for, it's not looking at the Fed, don't worry about them, is Switzerland, Germany, Singapore, Japan, and the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Brazil, and maybe UK. Those are the corridors. I guess you gotta say Australia too. Those are the corridors that have clarity right now, and they could spin up a big, big, big flywheel. They could let that thing go. And their final stage is, what is it, Patty? Boosting with digital assets. And this is boosting with digital assets. This is that final stage. I believe we are there. They're giving everyone a wallet. I mean, This is how you integrate PolySign, standard custody. You introduce them to all of RippleNet now. And you're like, oh, here's this wallet. Maybe they do license it. I think they're more licensing it to exchanges and to market makers. I think Ripple is basically probably keeping the training wheels on some of these first trial payment providers using crypto. But I think they're going to convert all the e-money and mobile wallets to Ripple Wallet. And that's a lot of wallets because Triangle's parent company has, I think, the whole Hong Kong transportation department, hundreds of millions, billions of mobile wallets. In the Middle East, they convert those all to Ripple wallets with full compliance in it. And you know what? It is game over. And we will be at $100. I do believe that. It's just not going to come from CBDC bridging or the Fed buying any of it or any kind of price set or pre-allocation.
Yeah, it's not going to be overnight. There's still a lot that needs to be done.
No. And it's interesting to see how Flair and the XRP sidechains, like Flair, will appeal to many of these RippleNet members and partners. I think there's a good chance we see that too. There's going to be overlap, especially from standard custody, some of these CeFi providers, blockchain.coms, and the Flutter waves. There's going to be overlap. So Flair, once it gets going, is going to be a huge ally to XRP because it offers that Ethereum smart contract capability. So some of these banks and different fintechs are like, well, Ethereum's the standard. We want to use their smart contracts, this or that. And they're like, oh, sure. Yeah, here's Flair right here. You could use FXRP on there. So we might see RippleNet members competing with us to earn that Spark yield.
That would be a nice day.
It would be. So just throw up that last screenshot, and then we're going to wrap it up on the DeFi note.
Well,
please.
From the blog?
Yes.
Nice.
There's one more. There's a short one. Is this it?
Yeah.
No, it's one more.
Oh, it's the one after this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, DeFi. So now right in here, what does it say? Since Ripple's inception, we understood the potential of crypto to transform the financial system from changing the way money moves across the globe through near instant payment settlement to the way we borrow and loan money through DeFi platforms. Now, see how he threw in DeFi platforms there? They didn't just do that just for, laughs. Jack McDonald's not going on DeFi panels just because. DeFi is the future, people. Wake up. This is the future. Ripple's telling you. Since 2019, they've been investing in DeFi. And if anyone doesn't know, next video we're going to do is on probably something that 99% of the community do not know about. Ripple invested with Bain Capital and Robert Leshner into a fund called Robot Ventures in 2019. And they've invested together in 50 different DeFi and crypto projects in the last year or two. Nobody knows about this. It doesn't say how Ripple invested, because they're all invested in a fund who then invests in all these projects. So Ripple has their claws deep into many projects in DeFi. They know innovation's the future. It's not CBDCs coming from the Fed, all right? This is the future here. NFTs, DeFi, tokenization. And what does it say to finish this off, Patty? Fast forward to today. There are hundreds of exchanges around the world doing billions in volume. And Ripple first launched this back in 2012. So we're 9 years in to what they've been building, And even, Mark Yusko said on an interview with Tony, Ripple as a company and hundreds of engineers are shipping lots of code. And when I heard him say that, shipping lots of code, that means that they're pumping out applications and enhancements and developments to RippleNet. RippleNet is not that different from the XRP ledger. It's still nodes. It's still instances in the cloud. They connect very easily to the XRP ledger. So it's not this completely separate thing that's just like a messaging platform. And I think that's a big misconception here. It's a hosted, basically smart contract network that runs on ILP. And we're going to see ILP integrate. So this is the chance, I think, for Ripple in the next year to make their move. So everyone should be bullish because when this SEC thing ends, for me, this was the next domino to fall, was putting the wallets in all of RippleNet's hands. I was waiting for that. And I think we're soon, next domino is to hear from PolySign and standard custody. Now, before you wrap it up, I just wanted to show some proof of how the escrow release really works. And in an interview, Bob Way said this exactly to Brad Kimes on his show. And that was a great interview. But Bob Way explained it. It just didn't seem to get through to the community too well. So there's an initial escrow with certain conditions that it's released at. But after that escrow is released, there's additional conditions that are set prior. And that's called crypto conditions. Crypto conditions is a standard with the IETF by Interledger team. Stephen Thomas, Adrian Hope Bell, Evan Schwartz. It was going to be integrated into Interledger standard, but they said it was too complex. It's multi-part, it's multi-signature, multi-algorithm, and multi-layer. Crypto conditions 256 is just one module. What it does is it allows for conditions to come after the XRP is released into the multi-sig wallet. It releases to payment channels or Interledger, and then other conditions have to be fulfilled for it to be met to do whatever the conditions say. You don't see that on the XRP ledger. You have no idea what's going on. It's not somebody behind a desk selling XRP, sitting there deciding. These things are all automated. The whole ledger, the whole RippleNet and XRP ledger have machine learning running over them for years. They basically could predict almost everything that's going to happen probably in the next ledger closing. And this right here proves it. This is new documentation from the xrpledger.org. It says the escrow feature makes the XRP ledger ideal for multi-hop payments using the Interledger protocol. Natively supports transfers that deliver XRP based on a pre-image SHA-256 crypto condition and executes those transactions within seconds of being presented within the matching fulfillment. And now this is after it's released, the escrow. Anyone could release the escrow. There's 3 different releases. I'm not going to go into that all now, but I just wanted to prove there's now factual evidence that the escrow just doesn't get released into Ripple's wallet. And then they're like, what should we do this day, Brad? Chris, what should we do? Should we send some options out? Should we sell it? No, it's already all set. We're going into an automated world. Automation is the future. And eventually we'll probably see smart programs manage this in different ways. I'm kind of curious, Patty, if those wallets have maybe smart wallet capability on top of the multi-party computation. Who knows what they built? But I think it's very exciting. And I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to clear that up. So even if somebody probably did want to buy from the escrow, automatically, they probably even couldn't because the preconditions are set up in a certain way. All right. So I hope that cleared up and gave some factual evidence. I'm sorry if I was kind of a little, enthusiastic and passionate in this. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call him out by name, but I do feel like I'm very proud to be part of this community. And I think, we are one of the most intelligent, but we need to keep the level up and we need to, limit the conspiracy, speculative nonsense that's based on nothing because it's embarrassing. So please, it's fine if people have that opinion, but try not to just, we can't, it's like the riddle thing. It's going to burst just like it did in 2018. So let's just stay on facts. We have so many great things happening. We have Flair network giving us, an airdrop. We have inbuilt yield coming. We have a 3 to 4 year, Flair network is a 4th generation, it's like the hidden gem of the market. Nobody's going to know until it's all of a sudden there. And the rest of the market says, oh, wow, this thing, where'd this come from? We'll be there early. XRP, when the case ends, with all these wallets, boom, it's going to surprise the market. So stay positive, stay bullish, ignore the short-term prices, ignore even some of the short-term TA. We're here. If you're here for the long term, like me and like Patty, you will do well and just keep learning. And thank you for watching. And it's not financial advice, and I am not a tax advisor, and nothing I say should be taken that way. This is for educational purposes only. I'm Mickey B. Fresh.
Patty XRP.
And we are out after this long video.
Yeah, shout out if you made it to the end.